And with Neetu ma'am, I think that scene it's such a beautiful scene. I feel like that a woman-to-woman conversation, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law conversation, and just till, you know, the first few years of my career, it was only me who had expectations from myself, and I was, you know, pushing myself based on what I had. But today when I hear the audience wanting me to do something or wanting me to do more, I think Monica and Good Newwz, you know, I always tell Raj, we should do Good Newwz too. Or even Preeti from Kabir Singh. You know, where did they go from there? There are very few films which have a female protagonist doing a lot of comedy.
Maybe like a Sita or Geeta, like...
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. You remember Sita or Geeta.
Yeah.
There are no, in the recent past, we've not really had any out-and-out comedy for a female protagonist. I've had some great jodis, you know, whether it's been Shahid and me, the Preeti Kabir fans have been telling us work together, Sid and me after Shesha. So, you know, Kartik, Varun.
Hi guys, this is Himesh and welcome to Pinkvilla. Today we have with us Kiara Advani. Welcome to Pinkvilla, Kiara. It's lovely having you here.
Thank you.
And before we start, firstly, congratulations for Jug Jugg Jeeyo. It is genuinely one of your, not one of, actually it is your best performance till date for me. So
that's high praise. Thank you.
You know, my first question to you is, from Fugly till now, you have not just grown as a star but also as a performer. Your present is better than the past. How do you view this growth as an actor?
Well, thank God you're saying that, because you want to keep growing. You know, I don't want to be the same person I was 8 years ago. I hope, and you know, it's always lovely when people appreciate your work, when they see that growth from your previous film. You know, I mean, like for me, one of the big moments in my life was when, as an actor, was when after all the love for Preeti, people started calling me Dimple. You know, and now hopefully like the character of Naina resonates with the audience. So I think with each character, the more they, you know, your abilities as a performer with each film, whatever you've learned from your previous film, to go and then push the boundary for the next one. And it's so nice that you notice that. I'm glad that you see that growth.
But you know, we all in our life have that one person whose feedback we look forward to. Who is that person for you? You know, whose feedback matters the most? Kisne bola, matlab, whichever way it is the right one.
Right one and all ka to pata nahi. I mean, of course, I wait to see my parents' reaction, but they're my parents. They'll always love me. I think that's just how mom and dad are. You know, they're always biased. But truthfully, I think when a film releases, I want to know everybody's reaction. Like every single person who's in the theatre, everyone who's writing on Twitter, all your reviews, all the press. You do as an actor, you know, I to wait for that validation, because I'm making films for you all to entertain you all. So the idea is for me to be able to connect and touch you all. So I think every single person's feedback is like, what do you call it? Like, it's keemti to me.
And you know, there are two scenes in Jug Jugg Jeeyo which stand out in a big way. One is the bedroom confrontation that you have with Varun, where both of you have that emotional outburst. And second is the river scene with Neetu ma'am. What was the thought process when you were shooting these two scenes in particular? Because they stand out, and how? Like it is like the film moves in a certain tone, and then those scenes take the graph higher. Those
are actually right there. They're big highlights, and we even knew on a script level, you know, I mean. Varun and I always say that that's the scene we did the film for. And we really worked hard at that. We prepped a lot for that scene, the bedroom confrontation, because it's where they both, you know, finally express all the pent-up angst that they've had. And then there's love, and then there's the angst and the emotions, and there's so many layers in that scene that we had to portray. And there are two different perspectives, and it's not who's right or wrong, it's just finally understanding each other, and all you wanted was to be seen and heard, and you realize that communication gap. And we actually prepped for that scene a lot, like for months. Raj, Varun, myself, we would rehearse it, we would choreograph it, we kept it very fluid. You know, she's getting up, she's going, because they've not come there prepared that we're going to tell each other all these things. It just happens in an outburst. They're just getting ready to go into bed and sleep, and that's when, you know, the conversation starts. So keeping all that in mind, keeping what they want to say, we actually sat and we drew from our own personal lives, personal relationships, what happens in couples, why they end to, and we, you know, it took a while to kind of put that to paper and then on screen. So kudos to Raj, you know, he let us also do a lot of things and say a lot of things in that scene that that we felt in that moment. Like if there were improvisations, he kept it. And most of that scene, if you see, is actually a one shot.
Yeah.
So you know, every time we had to redo it was that one shot. So we had choreographed it, we knew the camera was going, but there was, after a point, we didn't think about the camera. Like even if my back, if we were not visible, we were still going for it, because that's how it happens even normally. We wanted it to feel very real. And it feels so good when we hear this from people, that they really felt like as if you're really in, you know, someone's room who's having this massive argument. So I think it is one scene that we'll always be very, I don't want to use the word proud, but we'll always be very special to us. That, like, you know, it's that scene that you can rewatch, because we keep watching it all over and over again, and every trial we've had, or now, you know, when we're going to the theatres. And with Neetu ma'am, I think that scene it's such a beautiful scene. I feel like that a woman-to-woman conversation, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law conversation, and just seeing these two women being able to express to each other and understand each other in that moment at the lake. We shot very early in the morning. I remember Neetu auntie and I went to this place in the outskirts of Mumbai, and it was really cold. It was in the morning and we shot this scene. I remember we both just started crying in that scene, in that take only. It was very natural, that whole scene, you know. We didn't do too many retakes, none of that. It just happened. She said it so beautifully. You really, it chokes you, you know, everything she says. Even my reactions were just very real. It was not like we had planned, and we didn't even know the course we would take. It just happened. We were in that moment. So yeah.
And Kiara, you know, every success leads to expectation. How do you deal with the expectation that people, audience, industry, everyone has following a successful film? Because you had OTT success in Sher Shah, then there was Bhool Bhulaiya, which is then there is hopefully Jug Jugg Jeeyo as well, which is expected to do well because people are liking it. So
I feel it's good that they have expectations from me. I'm happy they have expectations from me, because that even makes me want to push myself. You know, I always say that till, you know, the first few years of my career, it was only me who had expectations from myself, and I was, you know, pushing myself based on what I had. But today when I hear the audience wanting me to do something or wanting me to do more, it makes me also push myself, and makes me push myself more than, you know, whatever I was doing before. So I'm happy that they have that, and they have that ownership, and I feel that expectation comes when you see, who do you expect stuff from? People who are your own, who you love, who you want to see something from, and you expect something from. And those are usually the people you love. So I feel that comes from एक हक है ना, so एक अपना सा लगता है कि ये हमारी घर की लड़की है. I always feel that, and that's why I feel it makes me very happy when you know, my fans or people in general, the audience, when they say ये कर आप और करो ना, आपको और आपको देखना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. So that makes me really push myself much harder.
Okay. And is there any character of yours which you think, you know, you want to play it again in a sequel or a part 2? Like uska aage ka growth, like how that character transforms.
I think it would be very interesting to see most of my characters where they would go. Whether it was Nanki from Guilty, or it was I think Monica in Good Newwz. You know, I always tell Raj we should do Good Newwz too, or even Preeti from Kabir Singh. You know, where did they go from there? So I feel, with most of my characters,
you would want to see that.
I would like to see where they go.
Okay. And you know, you worked with Sid in Sher Shah, then Kartik in Bhool Bhulaiya, now Varun in Jug Jugg Jeeyo. They are 3 young actors. You are the young actress who is growing and growing. How do you view the dynamic with the 3 of them? Like, how different is it to work with the 3 of them in back-to-back films in a span of 1 year? I think you were shooting them all together, I think so, if I'm not wrong.
Simultaneously, every actor is unique, you know. Whoever I've worked with, every co-actor, be it the 3 you name, be it, you know, so many other actors, be it actresses who I've been in the same film with, whether it's even like a Neetu ma'am or Prajakta in our film, and so many. I think every actor, it's a lot of give and take. That's what acting is. One actor alone can't make a scene work. If there are 3-4 people in the scene, every actor has to bring their A game on for that scene to work. You know, if even one person is a little bit not living up to it, the scene doesn't work, it doesn't connect with the audience. So I feel you learn something from every single actor you work with, you take away something from all. I'm sure we all give and take, so there's something that we all, you know, we're all exchanging energies while we're acting. And that's what's interesting, that everyone has their own uniqueness.
And you know, if you look at your filmography, most of your film have that comic element as well, be it a Good Newwz or now Jug Jugg or so many, like if you look at. How has your comic timing evolved over a period of time? Because that is one of the most difficult, I think,
that is one of the most difficult genres, and I think the first film that I did comedy in was Good Newwz. and I feel it's the one film that I've actually done the most comedy in. The other characters, the situations have been, but there even the character, the situation, everything. And I was actually very lucky that I had a co-actor like Diljit, because that did help, and even Akshay sir and Kareena. I feel it definitely helps you, you know, because everyone was like phat while we were acting. You know, there's a lot of timing in comedy, and that's what I learned from them. And I want to do more. I'm not actually, I mean, I've been a part of these films where we've had that, but I've not done an out and out. Yeah, like, you know how, I mean, I don't, there are very few films which have a female protagonist doing a lot of comedy.
Maybe like a Sita or Geeta, like.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. You remember Sita or Geeta. There are no, in the recent past, we've not really had any out and out comedy for a female protagonist. It's always a Gipura on the male. So I really hope that writers write better for a female protagonist to do more comedy.
Actually, that's an interesting.
Because there's only so much you can do with the material, so you kind of need that. And somewhere I felt Raj wrote that with Monica and Good Newwz. So maybe Raj, if you're listening, which I'll leave it to every person, that write more of these also for women. Yeah.
And next up is Govinda Naam Mera. You can't speak about it much, but it seems like a comic entertainer. Like, how excited are you for that? I think this year itself it should release. So.
I don't know when it's going to release. Maybe this year. It should be this year. I hope it's this year. I am very excited for them because it's a very different genre. It's very I don't know what genre we can put it in. We have to still come up with it because it's quite a whacked out film, and it's something new. Something exciting, and I'll wait for you guys to see the trailer, and I don't want to give away anything right now.
Okay, and you know, we all have bucket list. I think every actor would have a bucket list जिसमें there'll be an SS Rajamouli, Rajkumar Hirani, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and Shankar. You are working with Shankar sir next. You have spoken about it multiple times, but do you think that is like a sense of this thing that if you are working with someone of his stature, it's like, okay, that is one thing off the bucket list.
100% that I also realize how prestigious it is because you learn so much as an actor. Shankar sir is a director who is all for the film. He will not compromise on anything, you know, and to see that dedication and passion, it's so inspiring. I feel like as an actor and as an artist in the film industry, just my respect for filmmaking in general goes up so much because it's all because of him. I think the way he like values and worships the work that we're doing and everybody's contribution to the film is amazing. It's so inspiring and you learn a lot. And Shankar sir's, he's himself a very good actor because like between takes when he's showing us what to do, how to do it, you know, he's really very funny. I mean, there's so much I've discovered working with Sir. But I really feel blessed that I got this experience to work with him and to be guided and directed by him because I know that this will change me as an actor.
And you know, as an actress, like every person has that pre-Friday jitters. What are the thoughts in your mind? You know, kitna bhi confidence ho, you know it's a good film, but still there is that some sort of fear that what is going to happen next. How do you convince yourself on that Thursday night about what's going to happen on Friday with respect to the uncertainty?
You know, it's not about a fear. It's like, for example, with each film you kind of get a thoda sa you know ki achhi film hai ya phir chalegi nahi chalegi pata nahi hai, but you get a little bit of an understanding of the film that you've made. And I feel like all of us in the film feel and know that we made a good film. And a good film usually resonates with the audience and they feel it. But jitters are always there. Jitters are there कि लोग क्या कह रहे हैं, उनको पसंद आ रहा है, काम कैसा लग रहा है. So that constant checking ना on social media, what's being written, what are the reviews saying, how many stars have we got, who's messaging, ये सब तो it's very natural you want to know, you know. Like I was telling you earlier, you're looking for that validation. And I definitely, it's not like I'll do a movie and I'll be like, now I'm done. No, of course, you know, it's also important to detach, but you've given like so much, like how many ever months, years. I mean, this film, I've given 2 years of my life to this film, and I've given my sweat, blood, heart, soul, everything to it. So the hard work is something that, you know, you put in so much of it, you're waiting na result, aisa nahi ki chhod diya.
Correct.
So I feel like those 2 years of all the work that you put in, you're waiting to see that, are they liking it, are they appreciating it, are they laughing, is it moving them? You know, like just now when you brought up these two scenes, it made my day. It just made me, you know, I felt like, okay, he noticed that. And earlier we were doing an interview and there was one very small scene and both Varun and I were surprised that he even noticed it because it was such a small moment in the film. And it just made us, you know, it's just so gratifying when people come up to you and when they write. Like, we read comments. It's not at the end you're human. I mean, even tomorrow you'll go back and say, how did you like the interview? Did you not? So it's a very, even for films, and here it's on such a large scale that, you know, you're the amount of people where everybody's reviews you're waiting for.
Of course, And what do you have to tell your fans and the audience who look forward to your work? And
well, I just want to say thank you. Honestly, thank you from my heart for the love you've given Bhool Bhulaiya, for, you know, the love we're already getting for Jug Jugg Jeeyo, and everything that you all have showered on us, and it's very gratifying, honestly. You know, I feel very, very blessed that I have been appreciated for my work, and I just promise to keep entertaining you, and I promise to pushing myself and living up to your expectations, because this is what I wanted to do, and God gave me this opportunity, and the love that the fans and that the people in this country have given us, it's just, I'm a bit overwhelmed because I've had 2 back-to-back releases and I've not had a moment to think about it. But I don't know, just sitting here this moment and talking to you, it just kind of sunk in that, you know, I mean, I felt it when we were going for promotions of Jug Jugg Jeeyo. I felt the love that Bhool Bhulaiya was getting,
because
we did
a lot,
and we had done a lot of crowd and mall activities, colleges, the youth, and all of them would say, we went for Bhool Bhulaiya ma'am, you know, and kids came up to me, and that made me really feel like, I don't know, I felt very overwhelmed. And even now, and I didn't have really the time to sink it in, but now just sitting here, I'm just realizing that, I mean, it's towards the last day of promotions, and I've been promoting for 4 months, 2 films. But the fact that it's being loved and everyone's work and efforts are being appreciated, just thank you.
And lastly, which is the co-star you want to reunite with in the times?
All of them, I mean, I've really been lucky that I've had some great jodis, you know, whether it's been Shahid and me, the Preeti Kabir fans have been telling us work together, Sid and me after Shesha. So, you know, Kartik, Varun, I feel like all the jodis have worked, so I want to work with all of them again. They're all fabulous.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you, and congratulations again on both the films.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to the next one. Thank you.
Hi, this is Kiara Advani. If you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe.